favourite pair of shoes when I was little was a pair my mother bought me that I was only allowed to wear to birthday parties and special occasions, and they were white with a little point toe with cutouts on the top and a leather covered button, and the best part about them was they made a noise like my mum's shoes when they walked.
The first time we met Catherine, she was just 22 years of age, and she came to us for the AMP scholarships to apply for money for her first range. And he was this amazing, determined young woman amidst all of these academics and high-achieving sports people, and she just wanted to talk about her passion for shoes.
I was Catherine's first full-time employee. I came on board 8.5 years ago, and I've been working with Catherine on design and looking after our wholesale customers.
Favourite story or memory from Catherine Wilson Footwear over the last 15 years would be the opening of the shoebox, I think. That really summed up for me her amazing creativity, her risk-taking, and her desire to deliver a great experience for her clients.
So my favourite memory of Catherine Wilson is because I've been with her for 15 years, I've seen the company grow and the business grow along with her, and you know, I saw from the small starts, and she's just grown it to last year, last Fashion Week, filling out the whole audience full of people that just loved her brand and such a good energy, and I think that's one of my favourite memories, sitting front row at her show. Thank you, Kath.
Taking my mother, my daughter and me, so 3 generations buying Catherine Wilson shoes and coming out with loads of bags each. My mother was an incredibly stylish woman, and even at 92 she had a wardrobe full of Catherine Wilson shoes, sparkly, gorgeous, and everybody used to comment on them, and she always used to say, well, these are my Catherine Wilsons.
I think the key parts of the KW success formula has really been down to Catherine's personal involvement. I find that the brand is very personal to Catherine, and it's remarkable when we've been looking at all of the facts and figures around the boardroom table that everywhere Catherine goes, the sales are booming. So, you know, she does really well with a personal connection, I think, with her customers.
You keep saying you got something for me. Is it Catherine Wilson shoes? Hey, what a guess. 'Cause I've been wishing for some comfort, baby. Stylish and made of leather, 'cause that's the best. Well, these boots are made by Catherine. Should get the high heels too. Now one of these days, hey, you should make those boots belong to you.
If I could walk in somebody's shoes for a day, probably be my children. But the next person's shoes would be Catherine, because she thinks like my children. She's without any malice, and she's full of imagination, and she invents really cool things that nobody else has thought about doing.
Her most memorable boot that I can remember was one of the first boots she ever did, the Jimmy boot, and the demand for it was absolutely outstanding.
How many shoes? Next question.
When I grow up, I wear mummy's shoes.
Catherine is determined, but very modest at the same time. She's got an enormous passion, and she's obviously creative. But most significantly, she's an incredibly caring individual. And that comes through in what she is and what she creates and the way she does it.
Catherine Wilson the person and Catherine Wilson the brand are kind of represent one thing, which is a real caring attitude. And I think that as we go forward in the future, products which have that sort of attitude, that they care about people, they care about where they come from, they are going to be the products which really shine.
The Catherine Wilson brand has evolved so much since I started 8.5 years ago. When I came on board, it was purely a wholesale business, and since then we've opened pop-up shops and moved them around the country, and eventually ended up with 3 stores in Auckland.
It's never just been footwear. It's always had so much more behind it. It's now got charity alignments, brand alignments. Catherine herself has evolved into a real leader of business and a leader of industry in New Zealand. She's so well respected for what she's done with her company, and I think that really personifies that evolution of the brand, is that it's not just footwear, it's not just fashion. Catherine's now a mum, she's a wife, she's leading a group of women to do amazing things in New Zealand business, and I think that's what she'll be known for.
Over the past 15 years, I think Kath hasn't been afraid of evolving and responding and changing and challenging the status quo. So she just has changed in leaps and bounds, but she's always stayed totally true to who she is and what the brand's core values are.
So for me, it's become more about, I guess, the community of our customers that have followed and supported us, and definitely the people within the business that I'm wanting to give, you know, their ultimate career and dream job at the end of the day.
My piece of advice to Catherine for the next 15 years is just be who you are. Be yourself and continue to have that passion for shoes, which is what makes you and your brand so special.
Is just keep passionate and keep loving. Everything she does is about care for her clients and her brand and the people around her, and that's what will continue to make her successful.
I think the only advice I could give Catherine for the next 15 years of her business is to keep doing what she's doing, because she's amazing, she's owning it, she's a strong leader, and she's showing people how it's done.
Keep trailblazing ahead, keep pushing the envelope, keep being yourself, and just shine and let the world embrace your shining light.
Just keep on doing what you're doing, but giddy up and get on with it, and let's just rip it up and just do it.
Be customer focused, and remember you're only as good as your last range.
And don't forget to pay your taxes.
Success in a way for me, it's more of, I guess, the enjoyment and the life balance that comes from getting somewhere with a career that means you have the flexibility to be places you want to be when you want to be there. So of all the accomplishments and awards and things, it's wonderful to have, but really the things that keep me going and the things I'm excited about are the people around the brand and the people that have been part of that journey with me that we're acknowledging at the tribute.